Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hey.
How are y'all? Good.
Amazing.
Got the y'all going. Got that shout out to y'all for Shauna moving to the south. And maybe by the time this airs,
Utes.
you'll be almost on your way. Hey, hey,
The
hey.
Hey,
two
hey, hey.
the two Utes. Shauna and the two Utes.
Okay. All right. A pop quiz. What movie is that from?
I don't know. I just thought it was
Oh
funny.
my god, you don't know who what the two Utes are? Who
I don't remember it.
the two who's are the Utes.
Utes.
Utes. That's what I said. The two Utes.
My cousin
What's
Vinny.
the answer?
My cousin Vinny.
Oh.
I bet you I know who
gosh,
do.
haven't
I
seen
bet
that
you
in
I
so
know
long.
who's yelling at the screen right now.
My mama.
Miss Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my mama
Miss
knew
Nancy know
that
all the
one.
movies. She's
Yeah.
like, Shauna, you didn't know that?
And I know who directed it. I know who wrote it. I know who cast it. And I know whose uncle is to the son, to the director, to
And
the...
who was in the movie, Lynda? That was
Knows it
also
all.
in dang, it went right out of my head.
Go, Nancy.
In the Marvel
Oops, did I call her by her first name?
No, not Marvel. She was in a very famous black television sitcom spinoff from the Cosby Show. A Different
Mommy,
World.
what is it?
I know.
Who's the female actress in My Cousin Vinny?
Oh man. See, now you got me thinking.
Come on, Lynda. Where's your antenna?
I don't know. I mean,
The
yeah.
only non-black at the all-black HBCU.
And you said she was in what show? The Cosby Show?
She was in
oldest daughter.
She was in A Different World.
Oh, A Different World.
Oh, Different World.
The only girl that was not
Yes.
black girl in the HBCU.
Oh, what's her name? Dawn?
Kim Fields?
No, not Kim Fields. She was
Tomei. Tomei.
Tomei.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mom. I know I'm gonna hear that later.
Okay, guys. Look, okay. I'm gonna let Lynda get this show started, but that was just some fun entertainment for y'all.
We hadn't done an entertainment episode in a while. We're gonna put them.
We keep saying that every week.
Yeah.
Y'all let us know.
I know how we're gonna do that.
What's hot? What do y'all want us to talk about on here?
Yes. What's the hot?
Oh yes, tell us, everybody. If y'all watch Bling Empire, was y'all into? What was y'all into?
Bridgertons.
The Bridgertons. Were you into?
They had the book in TJ Maxx today. I almost bought it for you, Lynda.
You did.
Why did she say almost?
Because I was like, Lynda ain't gonna want this book. No, she already seen it.
Guy on the Geico commercial. Ooh, you almost had it. No, you.
So now I'm gonna have to go back and get it.
Yes.
Ooh, you.
I didn't think she wanted it. I was like, Lynda ain't gonna want this. She already.
She just jumped out of her seat.
I did.
I'm okay.
Over there right now. See.
I got you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so to bring us back. Okay. Episode 36.
Focus.
Ladies and gentlemen, our listeners, our heartbeats, we love you guys. And if you are watching this video, Shauna is rocking her beautiful Heartbeats t-shirt. I really like that one.
Thank you. I love the black one. I love my green one too. I love black.
Yeah.
Hi, Kobe.
Yes, Kobe's joining us today. Jeanette's by now she would be 2 months or so.
Look who want to join Kobe.
Oh boy, everybody's joining. Okay, I'm sure Maddie will be here to give me a hug in a minute. Hey Mia. So
this is the reality.
Ladies, your best option is you. And that's we are sitting here as we're doing this episode, pouring into ourselves, doing our inner children are coming out, inner child. Out. So today we're going to talk about how you are your best option. And I think this topic came up just based on many, many conversations, whether it was Marco Polo or otherwise, and even outside of Marco Polo in other forms. So talking about your best option being you when it comes to family, relationships, businesses, career. We've had a few career episodes here. We've had a good number of relationship episodes. So thank you for your feedback on those. And I think the first thing that we talked about when we brought this forward is like never letting yourself down. Don't let yourself down. Choose you first. So Shauna, do you have some initial thoughts? I think we had derived this episode for some conversations we had.
Yes, we did. Mia's getting ready to play in the background, so that's why I'm trying to see if she will pass through, but she's with us. So I think one of the reasons why we came up with this was just because of just everything that's going on. Now, you should always choose you first. You should always be your... I'm sorry. Let me start over. Everyone's in this episode. Mia's in the back.
this is the reality. So YouTubers, y'all know we don't cut anything out. Y'all get all the raw uncut.
Yes,
but,
yes.
We will cut it out for the show. So Shauna.
Okay, cut. All right. So we were talking about this the other day about how a lot of our cities and states are like opening up, and we're being pulled now more in more directions than before. Because before, when we were, at a sit still, it was a little crazy, but we were at a sit still. Now, half of us are sitting still half of our lives, and the other half we have to run again. And it's causing us not to choose ourselves first and taking us out of our regimen. I know I can speak to that for the last month and a half. I've been off of my regimen. And this week I'm getting back to implementing my what we call non-negotiables and working everybody else around it, because being pulled, I need to prioritize myself right now.
Yeah.
And it's all for me, is for my mental stability, for staying happy and being fulfilled. So those are the reasons why I choose myself every single day, and it's not selfish.
I love that. Yeah. I love when you say that choosing yourself is not selfish, because I find I have to say that to myself repeatedly. And then you're right. The world is like slowly opening back up. But I jokingly said to a friend the other day, like, yeah, the world may be in phase 5, but I'm still in phase 1. So
I like that. I'm with you.
I'm gonna be like just slowly and methodically, but also there's somewhat of a balance to that, because I know that I need to get out. And recently I did get out to go see my son play. And that was like I hadn't been anywhere. I was like, one of my favorite, I was like Forrest Gump, running from state to state when I drove to see him play.
I don't know what was supposed to happen today, but I know it's not going to happen today. I know where I'm going to be.
I packed the bag. I was like, okay, I'm out. See ya. And it was but getting that too. So that was the extreme, being home, kind of locked into Zoom calls for work every day. But then that escape I chose to do that. I was like, I got a last minute call saying parents can come to his game. And so I chose that just to get outside, to breathe the breath of fresh air. I went by myself, and it was really great. So I could have stayed home and probably done some other things, but I chose that. I chose myself that day, and I was smiling all the way. I will say that.
No, I get that completely. And I felt, so that's kind of like the season that I'm in this year, Lynda, and Shauna is more like focused on family. And like, I see it like, so as soon as I came off maternity leave, and the people that knew I was off was like, hey, so can I have you this weekend? And can I have you that weekend? And can I have you this day? And I was looking at my calendar, and someone was trying to book something with me. And I was like, that will put me away from my house 3 Saturdays in a row. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
Wow.
I'm not coming off of this break, seeing how much I appreciate my time and being with my family, and then put myself right back in that rat race of go. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing now. Like, it's opening up a little bit, and now everybody was pulled. And Shauna, was that me and you? Did we have that conversation? Like, everybody's kind of pulled, right? You feel like people want to go back out and just run and do all the things, but then some people are still pulled to like stay home, and it's just kind of all over the place. Yeah, we definitely did have the conversation. I remember now. But yeah, so for me, I'm having to consciously and intentionally choose myself and not feel bad about it and not feel guilty about it, and set those boundaries. And I feel like as long as I set that up front with people now, that they'll respect that and they'll understand, right? And they won't, because if you allow people to just take all your time, they're going to continue to do it, and it's not really their fault because you're allowing it,
right?
Yeah,
so that's very true. And I think there's still some caution that needs to be yielded to, because we're still in this state. I mean, even society and app, like I got text from an app that said, oh, you could start getting with your friends, start planning your July 4th barbecue now. I'm like, is this app really texting me saying that?
I mean, no, how you know what I want to do?
So it's stuff like that those kind of pressures, but I didn't get upset about it. I just swiped up and it went away, because I kind of know what state of mind that I'm in at this point. And you define.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's not getting caught up, like you said, back on the rat race. If you know that was already like a toxic way of living for you, you have the right to choose how you want to live. You don't have to do what everybody else does.
Yeah.
And it's okay to change, right? You're trying to like, if that was you before, it's okay to switch it up.
Yeah. Who cares what anybody thinks, because you're prioritizing yourself and your family's needs, first. I feel like, Jeanette, when you were talking earlier about you just came back off of maternity leave and you feel like you were being pulled in all types of directions. And I feel like so many people are, and we're still dealing with a lot of people passing away. We're still dealing with a lot of heartaches. We're still dealing with a lot of crime. Everyone's family is being affected on a daily major basis with some type of news coming to your doorstep. But when you were talking about that and being on a rat race and this kind of stuff and these forces pulling on you, I feel like you remember, well, they don't have these posters anymore, but back in the day, they used to have the posters wanted. I could see wanted, Jeanette Brewster, wanted, Shauna Hibbets, wanted, Lynda Mallory, and you feel like, dang, and Jeanette was also speaking on Marco Polo about, having like a 6-month leave to just do whatever she wanted to do. And she was kind of torn with the idea of it kind of being kind of a strange idea, but she knows that deep down her inner self needs that and wants that and desires that. And I hopped on and I was like, that's not crazy at all, because I want a year. Like I want to get myself to the space where I can, I want to work hard, get my brand and business going where it needs to be at, where it's self-sufficient. And then I want to take a year off.
Yeah.
And just kind of like do a sabbatical or just hang out somewhere, and just be lost in the sea of the world.
And that's what I was saying. Well, it was funny when you came back and was like, oh, I was going to say a year. And the funny part is my mind was like, say a year. And I was like, oh, that's too crazy. Say 6 months, because that's a little less crazy. And it's, that's how I feel. I really feel like I could really use a year to just do me and not have so many commitments to everybody else outside of like a few priority things that you must do, what I'm saying, to keep the world going in your home and with your family. But sometimes I just don't want to. Like, nope. Yeah.
I mean, I look at how I feel after being off from work for a few days, like those few days that I took off around the holidays. I'm like, wow, it felt strange because of the times we're living, but I felt so good. And that was only like 5 days. Imagine if that were even 30 days or 60 days, like how much energy I would have and how I would feel. I mean, I wouldn't even know. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I think a year ago I probably would have said that, but now that we've had this time to kind of sit down and kind of reflect on things, I kind of know I wouldn't be running back out there. I would be sitting on the couch, spending more time with family. I think I'm better connected with friends. Like if I don't hear from a friend or somebody or family member, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna reach out today. It may be 3 days, maybe 5 days later, but I've been more intentional about really pouring into, like you were saying, Jeanette, your family, getting that, kind of making that be the forefront. I would say that's been a good thing. Cause I mean, I'm just on the rat race, running up and down the road, doing this, doing that, going here, going there. Like I said, my phase 1 is everybody else's phase 5. So I applaud
I'm with you too, Lynda. I'm at 1 too.
Yeah. And because the reality of it is we're not really any good to anybody if we're not good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not any good to my spouse. I'm not any good to my children if I'm not in a mental stable place in my life. So it's always best to choose yourself. And it's not, like we said, it's not easy. It's not something that you learn to do overnight. It takes practice, especially if you're not naturally a person that chooses you all the time. Now I can tell you, my ex-husband only cared about himself. Nobody else mattered. He was always going to be his priority, which is a lot of reason why our marriage didn't work. But thank God for new marriage. But there's a few people out there in the world that are like, oh, I don't have that problem.
I know. I was like, how do you do that? Like, I'm probably to the other extremes. I'd be like, oh my gosh, here's my last toothpick,
But I'm proud of you, Lynda, and I'm proud of you, Jeanette. I wrote down 2 things that I felt like you all have taken great strides into prioritizing. For Lynda is booking vacation dates ahead of time for work. And like there was a time where Lynda kind of waited until her body kind of needed the vacation. And now you're like, nope, I'm just going to put it in because I know I'm going, I know it's there. And then it helps you, you know what I mean? And for myself, I've been doing mental health days, taking off a couple of days out of the month. And I call it mental health because I'm trying to renew, rebirth, regenerate the mind, body, and soul. So kind of take like a soulful day to myself. And in fact, tomorrow is going to be one of those days.
That's
And I'm going to do mani-pedis and mimosas. That's
Yeah.
what's happening.
All right.
Yes. I love it.
Mimosas. I love that. Yum, yum. Yes, very, very cool. And also too, I mean, I think we touched on this a little bit just about letting go now, since we've had this time to reflect, since we're like, you know what, this may have served me a year ago, but it doesn't serve me now. So that could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be career or otherwise. Or it could be that Shauna's picking up Mia right now and she's saying, oh wow, look at that.
Her
So
bone was stuck in a corner, so she's talking to me to get it for her.
okay, so that's Mia's non-negotiable. She said we're gonna
That's
get
her non-negotiable. Stop what you're doing and address me.
that's right.
This is a necessity. If you want to record this episode, you better give me this one little minute, a little second, because that's what needs to happen.
Mia said, I'm my best option at this moment.
Mia chooses her every minute of the day. I need to learn from her.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I know we talk a lot about rest and relaxation and how that renews us. One of you ladies want to talk to that? Just running yourself ragged, and it shows, right? So how do you all feel about the rest and relaxation piece and how that sort of fits into all of this?
So I feel like I'm great at running myself ragged, and Shauna's great at rest and relaxation and play and all those things. But I don't know if we talked about this in season 1, but I had a incident that happened and I got really sick in the middle of the summer of 2019. And I had to basically stop what I was doing after that for a while, a couple of months. I just couldn't do anything. And it was hard to sit still and to really just take care of myself and take care of my health and not run around so much. And my parents drive me crazy, but they always, every time I talk to them, point out, you just doing a lot. I mean, you just do so much. Are you going to sit down? Or my dad be like, oh, you look like you need some rest. I'm like, okay. But in this conversation of your best option is you, like that literally, like it could be to that point where it's your health that, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. And if you don't choose you might not be here. I'm just going to put it out there. And so for me, I've learned from that, and then just other things like getting pregnant and having a baby again later as an older woman, that I have to, right? Like it's a must, and you have to just stop trying to be in control, stop trying to take care of everything, and just really take care of yourself and think about yourself first. So I'm really embracing this season of surrender, which is my word for the year. But
it sure is.
Let me tell you
Do
something.
it with joy.
It's pushing my buttons. When you set them words for the year, it's not going to just magically happen. It's going to put you in situations that's going to force you to put into action the thing that you say you want. So like,
Didn't you ask for this?
Right. You want patience? Okay, let's test and see how patient can you be. You want your word is fearless? Okay, let's put you in situations where normally you would have fear and it would cause pause in your life. It's going to push you to really put those things into action. So but yeah, so for me, it's still a work in progress, like I continue to say, but rest is definitely important. I write it down as today would be great if I could take a nap. Like that's all. That would make today great.
Yes. I love R&R. I'm trying to get my life into a position where R&R is all day, every day. With my inner child out. That's what I'm striving for. I like mani-pedis. I like your occasional hotel stays. You know, I love travel, I have a passion for traveling and everything. But I tell you what I'm ready for in my life now. I'm ready for retreats. I'm ready to go to a real live retreat, and not just a weekend. I'm talking a week to 2 weeks to just totally unplug. And possibly, Jeanette, try a mud bath.
I'm just saying. It's what you want.
Did we cover this in another?
We're gonna cover it every time, Lynda, until you agree.
Didn't we cover this?
Yes, you know.
I don't know why they are adverse to this mud bath idea. I'm telling you.
It's just,
I haven't done it, but in my mind, I just know it's going to be all
like,
that. Fabulous.
Plan. I mean, I really need.
She need a plan for the.
We're not taking no planners, journals, laptops, or anything to this retreat.
Right.
We just
Lock everything up and just
we're gonna have a phone box.
Just
and
start twitching.
The getaway house, I'm not promoting them, but I have never been on one, but I've looked at them and y'all should look into them. I've heard great things about it, but in their description of what they provide for you in the little getaway house that you're at for the weekend is a cell phone lockbox. So they encourage you to lock your phone away. They don't have Wi-Fi in there intentionally. There is no TV in there intentionally. So it's all encouraging. I told my husband, I said, babe, we should do this getaway house. And I was like, oh, they have a cell phone lockbox. Lynda will appreciate this. He said, I'm not locking my phone in there. I've seen too many scary movies. That's the first thing that happened. You like, where's my phone? You done locked it in this box, and they creeped in the room and took the box, and now you don't have no phone.
Box, Jason of the 21st century then showed up, and then I was like, where's my phone?
But I do like that idea though. Lock everything away.
Yeah, that's a gradual process. I mean, can we like put it on the table first and then it make its way?
Let's table that.
I know, right?
You get 2 check-ins, Lynda. You can check in with your family in the morning. Hey, I woke up. I'm still here. In the evening, I made it back to my room. I'm still here. But that's it. In between there, they don't need no communication.
I'm gonna have like 87.
I agree. I wouldn't have a problem doing that.
Lynda gonna have to lock away her Apple Watch too, though. You know that, right?
No, I'm gonna hide it behind my back. Oh, okay.
She gonna be on the Apple Watch all day. What happened?
You know what, Lynda, I always felt like Lynda was like a secret spy. So before we go on a retreat, she's probably going to be in her constructing like one of those rings that she could be able to still check emails and IG over there. Everybody gonna be like,
it's gonna be in her glasses. You're not gonna be able to see it. She's gonna be looking on the underside of her glasses. She's gonna push a button. It's gonna be like all her message. I'm like, what is she doing?
Y'all are after my heart with that, because I watch a lot of Marvel and I watch a lot of them other kind of movies and them different TV shows. They be having all kinds
the glasses from Spider-Man.
Yep. So just some of everything. We're gonna work on that. That sounds like a great plan.
No. What about you, Lynda? How do you show up for yourself and practice some?
Yeah, I know what I need to rest. Like I have non-negotiables. Like right now, I think one of the things that came out of, quarantine 2020, like I work out now, something I never really did consistently. So shout out to Island Beats, Zoe and Iris. Just love them. Been having a great time doing that. So that's my Saturday mornings. And after that, I have to sit down because I'm not going to So that is what I do. And then Maddie and I kind of have a joint sort of, I guess, accountability. So on the weekends that she's here with me, Saturdays is dedicated to her. So whatever she do, whether it's movie night, whether it's we sit on, she said, Mommy, you sat on the couch for 3 hours. I said, yeah, I did. Because I think because I was tired from working out. That was probably the one thing. But the other thing, it was just, I think that was one of the 60-hour work weeks that I worked. So I was kind of forced to sit down. So I don't like getting to that point, but I'm trying to do better at not being so tired that I have to, just fall out. So it's the R&R for me, for sure. That rest and relaxation is, that's like number one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if did we touch on that, Lynda? I know you mentioned it earlier about like knowing when it's time to let go when a certain thing, person, or what situation no longer serves you.
Yes. And one of the things, I think we brought this up because today in one of the communities that we're in the Be Free Inner Circle, one of the young ladies in there, Dana, shout out to Dana for posting this amazing article. We had planned this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dana.
Hey, Dana.
Thank you.
And it just shows you how, like, we always talk about how the universe aligns. Now, we planned this episode over a week ago, and then today, Dana had posted, weeks ago. Yeah, so Dana had posted this article that says, I'm not rushing to get to work on time anymore. And it's just more than about getting to work on time. As I was scrolling the article, and it's on Medium, and we'll put the article in the show notes, it talked about, like, morning routines and scrolling in this article, I'm like, wow, it talked about options and it says myself must come first. It's not an option, it's a priority. And it was
absolutely
perfect article. Just, I think you all will love it. And just, read. It's about a 4-minute read, but it is power packed with some very good tips and steps for you, clocking in is that's because you feel that anxiety. Because that anxiety also is that rat race that's running
Yeah.
to yourself. And you just feel like you have to show up,
Yeah.
So it's
I scanned that article, Lynda. I didn't get to read it in depth, but I scanned it and I felt like the tips in there could be for anybody. You don't have to go to work. I feel like whatever it is that you're obligated to, someone else, people, family, children, there's a lot of tips in that article to help you, yield, pause, and connect and put yourself first.
Yeah, I like that. They talked about priorities. It talks about. I mean, it's like the young lady who wrote the article said, she knows she's not alone in this feeling, and she
Oh,
does.
definitely not. Yeah.
But like you said, Shauna, it's like putting yourself first. There's other things that she touched on besides, oh, I have to get to this job on time. It's, showing up for my morning routine, even if I'm not going to work. Why am I rushing through that? Why am I rushing through my self-care regimen? So of course, when I saw that, I was like,
why are we reaching for our phones the minute we open our eyes up?
Man, that's still a struggle. I can't even lie. I've done things before in the past, and it's helped, like leaving my phone in the bathroom, and then like not being able to touch it till I like get up, go in there, and get myself together. One of the quotes though from that article that stood out to me is, "Our capitalistic culture has conditioned me to value the things that make me money over the things that make me well and myself." I was like, wow, yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So yeah, and well, that whole money chase is a whole nother topic. Like we could talk about that for a whole episode.
We could. Maybe we'll take that as a note for another episode, because it talks about one point that we had here for this episode is the trade-offs. Like and that, what are you giving away to get where you should be when you're choosing yourself? Money is probably one of them, like chasing that dollar. I'm going to be up this ladder. It's okay to be there, but having sort of that,
what are you giving up to get there?
Giving up to
right.
The non-negotiables that Shauna mentioned earlier, is it that? So
is there something that y'all find that y'all over this, last year and a half, year and some months that you have let go of to allow yourself to choose yourself more?
It's another episode coming up, but yeah, I'm letting go the art of perfectionism.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for me, the need to be everywhere, even though it feels like I am sometimes, but I've been kind of the one that has stayed sort of grounded and very close to home. And a lot of it too is for, safety reasons, obviously, and sometimes, 60-hour work weeks, but I've really been intentional about sticking close to home. Something people will tell you, like, I've never like really done this before. So I think that has definitely changed for me, which is in a good way, in a very positive way.
Yeah. What have I let go? Look, I'm asking y'all, and I'm over here like,
I know. I'm looking at you, Jeanette.
What have I let go? I think I let go of feeling the need to have a full calendar, right? So, leaving some white space on my calendar has been really helpful. If I feel like I want my day to end at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then it ends at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I sit on the couch and watch movies with my husband the rest of the day, like, and just kind of being okay with it, right? I think that's for me, is just not feeling the need to always have my time taken up so much.
Yeah,
I feel like the second half of what you talked about is really the half that I feel like that we struggle with the most, is being okay with our choices. We know what we need innately. And when we do try to go after it, we do try to do it, or we try to put it into practice, is trying to let go of the guilty feelings associated with choosing ourselves and prioritizing ourselves. It's a lot of guilt that's associated with it due to society, due to family pressures and, things like that. And we have to continue to practice, like you were saying earlier, in order to place this in our life and really almost rewrite or self-talk yourself out of those old thought patterns that no longer serve you, with the guilt surrounding around anything that you're doing for yourself. And that's why I know we say it 1,000 times. I swear to you, journaling is one of the best forms of medicines that you can do. You can do an audio clip if you don't like to write. Getting that stuff out and outside of you so that you can examine it and really try to figure out where did those thoughts come from? Why do I feel guilty about sitting on the sofa right now?
Right.
I bought this sofa. I should be able to sit on it.
Right.
My sofa. No, I agree. And I know we talk about it in relation to just like, being productive and things like that, but also just in like relationships, right? I know we just had a relationship episode not that long ago, but still it's something. This episode was to cover everything, right? Not just like in business and career and stuff like that, but also like in your personal relationships. Like we choose to stay friends with people. We choose to stay in romantic relationships with people because we don't want to hurt their feelings, because we feel like, oh, we promise them this, but we can't change, we can't shift and decide that, what, this isn't working for me and forget my happiness. Let me just stay in this one place for this other person. And it's not healthy for yourself. And it definitely isn't helping the other person either. It's not fair to them to be stuck in those type of situations. And I see that a lot in people. And one thing I see it a lot is with men, because I feel like they don't want to be the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for a woman to break up with a man, but if a man breaks up with a woman, it's like, oh, who do you think he is? Leaving her. You know what I'm saying?
Choosing himself.
Yeah. How he gonna choose himself? So for our men out there, this is for you too. You can choose yourself. We're not just telling the women to pack up and choose themselves.
Absolutely.
You can
I
also
wanted to add to what you just said too. When you talked about it becoming unhealthy habits for yourself and a disservice to other people, not to mention what you're missing out of life, because your focus is on something totally unrelated to your purpose, why you are here, what you're destined for. And I also feel like that's really a huge procrastination that we do to not fulfill our purpose. And then we wonder why we're not happy, or why am I only getting pockets of sunshine? I want sunshine all the time in my life, I like this saying, if you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
I love that saying, like, no matter what is happening around you, but we all know that's easier said than done. But all of the things that the Heart of Chat speak to, it always comes back to the same thing. It comes back to you. It comes back to you, the importance of your essence, who you are, what your greatness is. And we're here as your supporting team to continue to foster that for you through these topics. And these are things, we talk about Marco Polo all the time. This is what we talk about on Marco Polo. Like, we're constantly uplifting on each other all day long. And so bringing these conversations here, just, we just love the comments and the support and where it's going.
It's not what I feel like what Shawna's trying to say too is it's not like we're just sitting here like, oh, I think the people need to hear this. Is we've gone through these things, we struggle with implementing these things in our life, and we've had these conversations and like, oh well, if we're struggling with it, then somebody else is also struggling with it.
That's Jeanette. Thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette is my bullseye interpreter.
We got each other's back. We got each other's back all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, I think back to a few episodes and then some future ones that we have coming up, just about when we had Priscilla on the show. And we were talking about dream career, but the core of what, she was discussing and what we were discussing that day are things, one, that we've all been through, whether it be jobs or entrepreneur stuff, and then choosing what makes you happy and the clarity around it. That was an amazing episode. Shout out to Priscilla. She was our first guest for season 2.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Yeah, and I thought about that as we were, pulling together the notes for this episode, just from that clarity piece, being happy. So you put, draw a circle on a piece of paper, write the word happy in the middle, and draw those tentacles out from it. Right? Start writing those things on there. And if it's something that's not touching the circle, maybe those things that you need to work on, and we're working on those things as we're delivering this content to you as we speak. Maybe some things aren't touching my circle the way they should be. I'm like, oh, I can work on that a little bit. So that's something that for our listeners, you can definitely try that and see where that works, and that'll give you the clarity on the things that you can focus on. Yeah.
So I want to, if it's okay, share a personal story. This impromptu.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all have to wait until it's okay next time. No, I'm just like.
No, she was serious. You got me, Jeanette. You got me.
No. I know it's okay, and that's another thing. People asking for permission and apologizing, and
yes.
But I wasn't planning on sharing this, but it came to my mind when we were talking about like how have you like chose yourself, and like what have you let go of, and I shared it with y'all when my delivery story, and how it was very hard this time around. And I'm gonna give y'all the edited version. Maybe one day I'll share it in detail, but the edited version, to get to the point, is that I was planning to have a tubal to get my tubes tied. So if y'all don't know, baby Kobe is baby number 7 for our family and my 4th delivery. And my mom was just dead set on, I gotta get these tubes tied. I don't care. Buy it, whatever. They're gonna tie these tubes and we're gonna be done. And also my whole pregnancy, everything is just kind of like, I've done it before, it's just another delivery. Not that I wasn't taking it serious, but it just has always been easy for me. There's been like, a few things here and there with like baby blues afterwards, but I never had like full postpartum or anything like that. But basically I was supposed to get my tubal done after delivery, the next day after delivery. I fasted. They kept my epidural in my back and they kept my IV in. And they came in that morning, they gave me fluids. They said, don't eat. They're going to come in. They're going to do they're going to do your tube, get you for the tube. I was like, okay, great. They came in. It was like, we're coming in at 3. It's 2:30. I said, oh, let me get myself together. They're about to come get me. The doctor comes in at like 2:30, 2:40. And she was like, oh, we had to bump you because of another person needed a C-section. So at this point they have to remove the epidural out my back because they say it's useless after 24 hours. So they're not going to be able to use it the next day. And then they were like, we had to take the IV out your arm because your arm is swollen from all the fluids, but we're going to give you new IVs. They blew 2 veins trying to give me these new IVs. I have a very high tolerance for pain, but I'm just going to tell y'all, getting an IV, getting a needle put in your hand and your vein blowing and them trying to pull that needle out. It's like, imagine if, you know how you put the, you put the things in the wall that spread out so you can put the, when you're like hanging a picture, you put like that thing to hold it in place and then you put the nail in there. So if you try to pull that out, it's just all those like little things are open, it's going to pull out. I felt like they put the needle in and like 5,000 needles popped out while they were trying to pull it out. Like that's how it felt like, just and I have a very high tolerance, like I said, high tolerance for pain, and then I'm hormonal because I just had a baby. And now it looks like I'm not going to get this tubal, which all I wanted, a healthy baby, and then walk out of here with my baby and my tubes tied.
That's all I wanted.
And, but it was for me, but it wasn't for me. Like it was for like just our family. Like we just don't want to add to it. It's a lot. These times are unpredictable. We have enough responsibility. Yes. But in that moment, it was like, they were like, well, we can, try again tomorrow. And I was like, at this point now I'm crying. My husband is looking at me because I don't cry. He's like sitting up straight in his chair, like, what the heck is going on? Right? Why is she crying? And I'm apologizing. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm apologizing to the nurses. Mind you, they're the ones that tried to stick me and hurt me unintentionally. But I'm apologizing to them because I'm emotional. And they're just like, no, you don't have to apologize. It's okay. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get myself together. And instead of just allowing myself to just be emotional and be in my feelings.
Yes.
And so they said, well, I said, just give me a minute. Let me talk to my husband. And I'm looking at him like, well, what do you think I should do? And he was like, I think you should just let your body heal and we can figure this out another time. We could just go home tomorrow. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I had to have him not give me the permission, but just like remind me that it's okay to just say no and let your body heal. Like you don't have to make this happen. And I think a lot of times we put ourselves in a situation where we feel like I want this one thing so bad that regardless of what it's going to do to my body, I'm going to push forward instead of saying, when I say your body, I mean, it could be mentally, physically, whatever, regardless of what the consequences are, I'm going to push for it because I said I'm going to do this one thing instead of just choosing what you need to do, which is, hey, you just had a baby.
Right.
It was a traumatic experience because you probably should have had a C-section, which is a conversation for another time. And you went through all this stuff with these needles and being poked left and right and your hormone on top of it. How about you just let your body heal?
And prioritize yourself.
And prioritize yourself and not think about these things. And I feel like we do that to ourselves so much to our own detriment, like, because I have to do this, I have to do that. And like Shauna said, perfectionism is a whole nother conversation that we're going to have later. But I just want the people that hear that, the reason why I share that is because I don't want y'all to continue to do those things. I want you to look at like yourself and like, is this really healthy for me in this moment?
Right.
Like trying to force this marriage to work, trying to force this friendship to work, trying to force this job to work, or whatever the case may be. Even if it's like, go ahead.
The greatest thing about this is that you sought out help from your spouse. You needed him to help you, even though innately you knew, you still needed. That's why we need each other. And being open to receive that from the greatest of places and spaces, and that we trust is we always need to be in that zone as well, because sometimes it takes someone else to help us prioritize ourselves.
Yeah. And I was allowing it's hard to be vulnerable even with my spouse, and I know it's not the case for everybody. It's hard for me to be vulnerable with people in general. So to be vulnerable and feel like I'm weak in that sense of my health or whatever the case may be, but it was what I needed to be to allow me to take care of myself and to like actually heal and rest. But yeah, I meditated and thought about that thing over and over again. I had to write it and journal it and contemplate whether I was going to ever share it on this podcast. But I felt like this was the space to share it and the episode to share it on. But yeah, please, people, please choose yourself.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that intimate story.
Very, very intimate story, very personal. And I mean, the perfect kind of way to, you choosing yourself, knowing that internally you knew, right? And so listening and showing up for that and being able to say, look, I don't have to continue to stretch myself in this way, even though, because they may, whatever those nurses or doctors, they may not be thinking, in terms of you being, the patient, that the emotions that come with that is, they're doing this every day, but okay.
Right.
But however, kind of that settling yourself, and you wrote about it, you shared, and I think we talked about, Shauna brought it up earlier about journaling around type of things. So I think you sharing that, I think is going to help a lot of people, and maybe the men that are listening, it will. I mean, the men that are listening, look out for these signs with your significant others, spouses, wives, whatever, moms, girlfriends, I don't know, but I think it's important.
You're right, Kobe. Mommy prioritized herself.
You hear her over here. I kind of like have her out the camera, but she's still over here like.
Yes.
No, they didn't, Lynda. And I'm gonna tell you, because that next morning the doctor came in all happy, and she was like, "We're clear. We're ready. We're gonna get you in there." And I'm looking at her like, "They didn't tell you what happened last night? I'm going home." She was like, "Well, I know you really wanted this, and then you fasted, you didn't eat, and then we starved you for a whole day." And I was like, "No, I appreciate that it's I can go right now, but I'm going home." And she was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm leaving." She was like, "Okay." I was like, "Get my papers." And they made my nurses, because of the night before, I had told them I was going home in the morning. She said, "I'm going to have all your paperwork ready. We're going to make sure you're the first one out of here."
Yes. Proud of you for that.
Yes, thank you, Jeanette. And
it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah. When you share that with us, I mean, we just, few states away, still rallying you, and it was like we were right there with you. I hope that our listeners,
I felt like the heart attack birthed the baby, because I'm telling you that day, like it was like really, it was strange. Even her maternity leave, I felt like I was on maternity leave.
Exactly. I was like, you need us to come down, like, you know.
Yeah, but journal about it. Like, look, and then talk about it with people that you trust, because that's what I had to do. Because it was really easy for me when people ask me, "Oh, how was everything?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine. Everything was good. I had the baby. She's fine. I'm good. I'm fine." That word "I'm fine" is just a lie. Let me tell you. People be like, "Oh, I'm fine." No, you're not. There's something else. There's something else.
It's a default, you know. I'm tired.
Definitely.
That's what I am.
But I knew I had to tell it to somebody, and I knew you ladies that I can that it will be a safe space to share that with y'all after I had journaled it. And I was like, matter of fact, and I don't even think I didn't even verbalize it. I just like sent y'all the here's my journal writing that I did.
Ding, 58 notifications. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, y'all just read that, and just so y'all know this is where I'm at, because yeah.
Thank you, Jeanette. Yes. Really great discussion, ladies. I love this. Yeah, your best option is you. To our heartbeats, our listeners, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you learned a lot here, a lot of, you know, personal sharing and stories, and that, you know, you can find things in here that you can relate to, and keep applying them in your own life. When it comes to business, relationships, choosing what makes you happy, kind of that core piece of it, and having clarity around it.
I agree.
Yes.
And we're going to leave the article for them to be able to
we'll leave
relate
the
to.
article. It's on Medium. We'll put the link in the show notes along with some other resources for you.
Right.
And we hope that like and share, comment on this episode, and please watch the YouTube, because
it's gonna be some bloopers that are not gonna be on this recording that will be on our YouTube. So just go watch it.
That was like, dang, I'm gonna be busy. Y'all got me.
I'm about to edit this out. The last couple of ones, y'all been giving me some work.
Thank you, ladies.
Shauna,
thank you.
Do you want to take us out?
Yes, you can find us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Twitter. Don't forget to go to theheartofchat.com, get on our mailing list so you can get every Meatful Monday in your inbox. You will get a new episode. Don't forget to purchase your merchandise. Our store is live.
Our Heartbeats Tea.
Yes, our heartbeat teas. We still have our mugs. We still have our journals, which we always talk about journaling. You can also buy us a cafe for the Heart of Chat. There's a cafe button on there. And so we need you to come back next week and every week, everybody, because it's going to be fuego, baby. Come back.
Awesome. And shout out to Miss Denise for these beautiful earrings. She bought us a cafe.
Yes, Miss Denise.
Oh, yay.
Miss Denise Brown. We love you. Thank you.
Love you.
Right.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.